We're at Rush in Chicago, beautiful downtown Chicago, and every 2 weeks we come here to do the procedure on Haley. Stretch. Oh, we gotta do our stretches.
Haley has a condition called Niemann-Pick type C, or NPC.
You doing okay? Yeah?
And receives VTS 270, a unique form of cyclodextrin through an FDA-approved compassionate use program known as an IIND.
Open your mouth.
VTS 270 is currently being studied in a phase 2b3 clinical trial.
Touch my finger. Thank you.
Dr. Elizabeth Berry Kravis, a co-principal investigator, runs one of the clinical trial sites supported by the biotechnology company Vitesse Incorporated. Soon, there will be as many as 20 sites worldwide.
We're gonna do Haley's checkup. So the phase 2-3 trial is an effort to get drug approval by the FDA. And the purpose is to prove that the cyclodextrin works for a list of symptoms that we're measuring that are relevant to NPC, like swallowing, cognitive function, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, and with other measures of neurological function like neurological exams and motor tests.
Participants come from all over North America to this clinical trial site for VTS 270. 10-year-old Caden and his dad come here from Texas.
They take care of the planning, the finances, they take care of all that. It's been a perfect relationship, in my opinion.
Usually we say Dougie, huh? Dougie.
During periods between tests, patients and their families gather and support each other. Haley's family has gotten to know Samantha and her parents through this shared experience. Both girls have been treated with VTS 270 under an IIND for 2 years.
Patients who go into the clinical trial are required to go in every 2 weeks to the clinic to have several tests done.
Okay, Haley, take a big breath.
Take a breath.
It's actually really exciting to be a part of a study that has the potential to really change the course of a neurodegenerative disease.
Parents say the time commitment is manageable.
We're here about 8 o'clock, and typically these days we are done by 10:30 or 11.
It's great actually because it's time away from our busy life. So being together, just us, and not having to worry about the whole other world. And we're only here probably half a day.
It's very manageable. None of these kids have very many options, so when this is an option, you're going to take it.
Typically, at each visit, the day starts with an exam.
Sounds good. All right.
Then, patients have numbing cream applied to their back in preparation for their procedure. Once every 2 months, the visit will include major assessments like audiology to measure hearing. There's also motor skills testing and a series of questionnaires, quality of life, clinician global impression of change, and caregiver impression of change.
We're trying to assess for changes that may or may not have occurred since the beginning of the study.
Changes are noted from cognition to handling daily tasks.
Do you find that you're having any issues, large or small buttons, zipping?
No.
Okay.
It's all pretty normal.
Go.
Gross motor skills and general movement, including walking and balance, are observed in multiple ways.
Ready? Go.
A 9-hole pegboard is used to detect shifts in fine motor skills in both hands. After assessments are complete, participants are readied for a procedure.
They will either receive a lumbar puncture and receive VTS 270, or they will receive a sham procedure. And that's our way of sort of blinding the clinical trial in order to make sure that the data that we get is scientifically robust as possible for the regulatory agencies to be able to make a decision on whether or not to approve VTS 270.
After the procedure, they lie still for 40 minutes. Dr. Berry Kravis has her patients lie on an incline. For Samantha, who's in a junior college transition program and has a job, being treated with VTS 270 brings her family comfort.
Life is definitely better. At least there's some hope out there, not just obviously for Samantha, but every other kid with this ridiculous disease.
Other families are optimistic too.
Now we're looking at him going on with his business. He's just t-shirts and he's into art. It's very encouraging. And the people here at Rush are very accommodating. And VTS, of course. Thank God for VTS, you know.
Our goal is to make this as convenient and as expedient as possible to be able to make sure that people who are involved in the clinical trial can minimize the amount of time that they have to take out from their normal lives and their normal activities.
We want to be visible, we want to help. If we can make something easier, then great, you know, let us help, let us help.
These families are laying the groundwork for what could be a new approach to treat Niemann-Pick type C.
Yeah, that's what I do. Rarely in rare disease do you get such a nice sort of pre-existing package before you go into a sham or placebo-controlled trial to work toward registration. This drug has a huge background of knowledge supporting it. Often, you know, you work for a lot of years before you really get an opportunity to have something that looks like it's on the verge of really changing that disease. And so this is exciting.
Bye guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Whether you're actually receiving the medication in this study or you're not, I can't imagine you're not allowing your child to go up here and participate in this. Because there's so many kids out there that have this disease and they need some semblance of hope.
Before we had no hope. There was, I mean, you just sit and wait for the bomb to just struck.
Our hope is to give Haley a long life.
Well, everything we do hangs on that four-letter word, hope.